guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming the 4th trimester video. I have filmed the 1st, 2nd and 3rd trimester video already. They are on my channel if you want to go and watch them. And today I'm going to be talking to you about breastfeeding, what happens or what happened for me in the 4th trimester. I want to start by saying I didn't watch too many 4th trimester videos when I was pregnant, because I thought that I already knew what was to come in the 4th trimester. I was wrong. So I watched a lot of 1st, 2nd and 3rd trimester videos when I was pregnant, but I didn't watch too many 4th. So the 4th trimester, actually let me have a Google quickly because I'm not too sure how long is the 4th trimester. So the 4th trimester is the 12-week period immediately after you've had your baby. So I was actually under the impression that the 4th trimester was less than 12 weeks, but actually it works out perfect because Tommy was 12 weeks old literally 4 days ago. So I am now past the 4th trimester. I have lots of notes here that I'm just going to go through and just explain to you how it was for me and any tips and tricks I found along the way. My first bit of advice before you watch this video would just be to say that nothing lasts forever, and although at the time it might feel really intense and you might feel really overstimulated and you might feel stressed and you might feel sad and you might feel lonely, just know that those first few weeks are, personally for me, like nothing I had ever experienced in my whole entire life. And I think the reason that it went the way it did was because I was in labour or in pain, having contractions for over 24 hours before I actually gave birth. So I hadn't slept for like 40 hours. By the time I got home the day that Tommy was born and went to sleep that evening, I'd been awake for nearly 2 days. So I was like delirious because I hadn't had any sleep. I didn't really have an appetite after I gave birth either, but one of my tips would be to just eat even if you don't feel like it, whether that means drinking like a protein smoothie or like just something, because you want to keep your energy up. Because I started to get like the shakes where I hadn't eaten, I felt dizzy, I just didn't feel great because I wasn't like fueling my body in those first few days, because I didn't have an appetite. But make sure that you eat even if you don't feel like it. So I think maybe if I had stayed at home a bit longer rather than going into hospital as early as I did, then I would have been able to like rest a bit more at home. But because I was in hospital for like a day and a half, I was so tired when I came back that all I wanted to do was sleep. And your brain just like has this, your brain knows that you're responsible for a baby, for like another life. So even though you're tired and your baby might be sleeping a lot during the day, I couldn't physically sleep because I was aware of him, you know, around me. I would rest when he was asleep, but I wouldn't necessarily sleep because I was so alert. I couldn't go to sleep because I was worried that he'd stop breathing, or I was worried that he'd, you know, obviously newborns, like 2-day-old babies don't roll over, but I was worried that he would roll over, or I was really worried about him sleeping with like blankets and stuff, which is why he sleeps with a sleeping bag now. But your brain is just so switched on, you have so much adrenaline after giving birth that everyone says sleep when the baby sleeps, but I couldn't. And I think a lot of people are like that, so it wasn't just me. So my tip would be to rest when the baby sleeps, because a lot of the time, the second that Tommy would go down to sleep, although I was still recovering, I still had obviously housework and chores and stuff around the house that I wanted to do. The second he would fall asleep, I would get up, rush around, I'd get the washing done, I'd hoover, I'd change the bed, I'd do all of this, and then he'd wake up and I would feel absolutely exhausted because I hadn't rested while he was asleep. So find a series on Netflix, open a box of chocolates, sit down, put your feet up, and don't worry because the housework really, really, really can wait. I would also recommend that once you've left the hospital that you wear disposable nappies. I've talked about them a lot in my things I didn't / did use in my hospital bag. They're basically like adult nappies. I found that wearing those, number one, it was like one less thing to worry about with washing. They were comfortable, they come up like really high-waisted, and they're obviously disposable, so every time I would wear them, but also put a pad inside them. So I bled for like 4.5 weeks after birth, so if the pad needed changing, then I would just change that every so often, and then if it leaked through, I would obviously change the nappy as well, but I wouldn't change the nappy till the end of the day. So it was just nice having something like soft up against your skin. I also had a 2nd-degree tear, which meant that I couldn't use my padsicles in the way that I wanted to. I made a video about how to make padsicles, which are basically sanitary towels with witch hazel and aloe vera, but because I had stitches, I was advised just to wash and everything like that with plain water, and just don't put anything on the area. So what I would do, because I still wanted the cooling effect, was I would wear my nappy, I would then put the padsicle in the nappy, and then put a pair of underwear over the top. So there was like, the underwear was between the padsicle and between me, so that I was still getting the coldness, but I wasn't so much getting the aloe vera and the witch hazel. So I did end up using them, but not really for the purpose that I wanted to use them for. But I would still say definitely make some up, have a few in your freezer. You can always make more. I'll link the video in the description that I made about how to make them and stuff like that, and hopefully they will become useful to you. Next thing I've put down is leggings. So once I'd given birth, I lived in leggings during my pregnancy anyway, but once I'd given birth I just lived in leggings. I still live in leggings now. They're just comfortable. I just bought loads from Primark. They're literally like £2.50. They're not see-through, they're really, really soft, and it's just like my go-to pair of trousers. They're comfortable. You can pull them up as high as you want to if you're self-conscious about your stomach. Because I'm breastfeeding, I find it quite hard to find outfits, so just to have a pair of leggings and a vest top and a nice cardigan or jacket has kind of been my go-to these past few weeks / months. I've also popped down, make sure you are keeping on top of your paracetamol and ibuprofen. I took paracetamol for, I think, about every day for about 1.5 weeks after I'd given birth, because I was still sore with my stitches. I didn't have any contractions or any pains in my stomach after birth. A lot of people, especially with breastfeeding, say that they have like tightenings in their stomach. I didn't have any of that. The main reason I was taking the paracetamol was just for the stitches were sore. So make sure you keep on top of your paracetamol. Set alarms on your phone, set alarms on you know, an Alexa device or something, and make sure that you are keeping on top of it. The next tip I've put is to accept help. Accept help when it's offered, whether that means someone coming around to hold the baby, someone coming around to chat to you, someone coming around to do the hoovering. My best friend came round, I think it was a day after I gave birth, and it was really, really helpful. Obviously she came round to see me and meet the baby, but also while she was there I remember she emptied the bin for me, she stripped the bedding, because there's nothing better than having fresh bedding after you've given birth. What else did she do? She done me a little food shop as well. She bought me some nappies as well, some size 0 nappies that we needed, so that was really helpful. Accept help when it's offered, and ask for help if you need it. Don't wait for someone to offer. If you need help, then reach out to friends and families and your partner, because at the end of the day all people want is for the best for you. So we use a Next to Me crib. It's the Joey Roomy Glide, I think that's what it's called. I made a video a few months back where I actually built it in a vlog. It's been a lifesaver. It's the one that's got like the drop down side, and you can have it attached to your bed, but we don't have that. We just literally have it next to the bed. And it's amazing. It means that he's right there in the middle of the night. I can just put my hand over. It's easy to get him in and out. If you have like a C-section and you find it hard to get out of bed and stuff like that, the last thing you're going to be wanting to do is, you know, walk to the end of the bed, or get up and walk to a Moses basket. So having the Next to Me, where the baby is directly next to you, safely sleeping, I found that, and still find that now, an absolute lifesaver, especially with breastfeeding. I probably will do a separate video about my breastfeeding journey and some more in-depth breastfeeding tips, but I just wanted to mention on here that the first 2 weeks, everyone will say this, every video that you watch about breastfeeding says the first 2 weeks are like something else. There's something, it's awful. It's painful. You know, you can have problems with breastfeeding, the baby can have problems with latching, but once you magically past 2 weeks, it becomes second nature. For me, I found it really easy after 2 weeks. Before 2 weeks I had cracked nipples. I remember my nipples felt like rough, you know, they were cracked, they were sore, it was like borderline excruciating when he would latch on. It was really painful, but the second we hit 2 weeks, I woke up, fed him, and there was literally no pain at all. So make sure you're using lots of nipple cream. The one I recommend is the one in the purple tube. It's actually in my nappy bag downstairs, and I don't actually use it so much anymore. I used it a lot in the first 2, 3, 4 weeks, but I don't use it at all now. I still have it, so in case I'm having you know, a bad day and they just feel a little bit sore, then I will use a bit more, but I used it religiously the first 2, 3 weeks, and then I don't feel that I need to use it much anymore. But it's, I can't pronounce the, oh, this is the brand. This is the Therapy Pearl Hot or Cold pack. This is the brand, by the way, so this is the brand of nipple cream that I recommend as well. But these, you can have them hot or cold. I used them cold. You put them in the freezer, it tells you how to use them. It's got the directions like written on the back. And it comes with like a little cover as well, which is downstairs, but you put them in this little cover so that it's not too hot or too cold on your skin, and then you just pop them in your bra like that. And I used to use these again in the first few weeks. My boobs felt quite like warm to the touch. I didn't have any like mastitis or clogged ducts or anything like that, but they just felt a bit warm to the touch, and I would use these, one in each side, to just cool them down and just make myself feel a bit more comfortable. Yeah, they're really good, and you can put them in the microwave as well, so it's like whether you want them hot or cold, you can choose. Make sure that you are also drinking a lot. This bottle I actually had with me when I gave birth. It's from Primark. It's got a straw. This is the juice that I've been like drinking today. I've refilled this already like 2 or 3 times, and it just encourages me to drink, especially with breastfeeding. You're really thirsty, so I take it up to bed with me. I've got squash in it now, but I sometimes do just fill it up and drink water. But just make sure you're keeping hydrated, and having a bottle like this next to you really prompts you and reminds you to remember to drink. And then I think it was on about day 2 or 3 when my mum popped round. I got her to plait my hair for me, which I just found was one less thing for me to worry about. I think I have a picture actually, because I remember my mum coming round and plaiting my hair for me, and I felt like I was like 10 again. And I had a shower while my mum was round, and she was watching Tommy, and I came downstairs and she plaited my hair for me, and it stayed in plaits for like 2-3 days, and it meant that I didn't have to worry about washing it, or I didn't have to you know, it wasn't on my face, it wasn't in Tommy's face, and I felt, yeah, I literally felt like a little 10-year-old. My mum came round and plaited my hair for me. We also use white noise. This really helps to just like soothe or distract or calm Tommy. He sleeps with this, not this exact one, this is like a portable white noise device. So we use this downstairs, and then upstairs we have an Alexa in our bedroom, so we just say, Alexa, play white noise for babies, on repeat, and then it will just literally keep playing white noise. Sometimes it switches off, like it goes on to standby, but then I just ask it to do it again. So you've got white noise, hairdryer, rain, nature, waves, a fan, and then white noise. You've got the volume button, and then you can have it on a timer as well. So this was from Amazon, and it was literally about £10. So it's got batteries, or you can charge it, I believe, from the back. It came with a wire as well. So from day 1 we've been using this and we found that it really helps him to sleep, and yeah, it just like mimics the sound of the womb. I think that's what white noise is. So yeah, definitely invest in a white noise machine. We also use a Grow Egg night light slash room thermometer. I'm not too so when Tommy was first born, I was really obsessed with the temperature of the room. If it was too hot, I would worry. If it's too cold, I would worry. But now I don't worry about the temperature too much unless it's really cold or really hot. I mainly just use it for the night light, so that's basically all we have on. We have a blackout blind like suctioned to the window, and then we have our curtains shut, so it's pitch black in there, and then the only light that we have on is the Grow Egg, and it's just enough light for me to be able to see Tommy in the night, pick him up, feed him, and then if I change his nappy or anything like that, I'll just put my phone light on, like facing down in the bed, so it's not too bright. Yeah, I really like that. My next tip is to eat in the night. So I don't do this so much anymore because I think I'm just kind of used to it now. But the first few weeks when I would wake up, number one, I was shattered and I didn't want to wake up, I want to be asleep still. And number two, having something, a little snack or a little chocolate bar or something by the side of your bed to wake up and eat in the middle of the night made me look forward to waking up, because I was waking up and eating like one of my favourite chocolates or something like that. And of course it was giving me the energy, and I had my water or my drink with me, so my snack of choice in the middle of the night was a Squares bar. So when Tommy was really little, he would wake up like 4 or 5 times a night, and he would wake up 2 times and I would feed him, put him back to bed, feed him, put him back to bed, and then the 3rd time that he woke up is when I used to have my like midnight snack, and I'd eat my Squares bar, and it would just kind of give me that bit of energy that I needed to keep on going throughout the rest of the night. And I did that for the first like 3 weeks or something. Now I'm just used to like the no sleep. He is quite a good sleeper, to be fair. He only wakes up like once or twice a night, and he's really good at going back down to sleep, so I don't bother you know, having something to eat or something. But I do make sure that when I do wake up that I eat a breakfast, lunch and dinner, and then obviously have snacks, because you do need to eat more calories if you are breastfeeding. Speaking of breastfeeding, I would definitely recommend that you get yourself a HICKS. I nearly said that funny then. It's a silicone breast pump. It works on complete suction. What you do is you fold the flange, the opening, over, squeeze the bottom, whether it's, I don't think it matters if you squeeze it this way or this way, as long as you're pinching the bottom. You put it on your nipple. You can't try to make sure that your nipple is like centered. Pop it on your nipple whilst squeezing the bottom, let go, and then you like that. I've actually got a mark where I've just done that now, but you know what I mean. It literally works on complete suction. So fold it down, pinch the bottom on your nipple, let go of the top, and then fold it over, and then it literally suctions. You can see that it's like not moving, and what this does is catches your letdown from the other side when you're feeding. So I have gone through a whole pack of breast milk storage bags, and there's 50 in a pack, and I freeze bags of about 3-4 ounces. So that means just using my HICKS, I've collected about 150, 170 ounces of breast milk by just using this. It's really easy to wash. I just wash it with hot soapy water with like a bottle brush, and then leave it to dry. And yeah, I try and use this every time I feed him, and I've recently started using this in the morning at about 5-6 AM when I feed him in the morning. It's not every single day. If he wakes up, then great, I feed him. If not, then I don't worry about waking him up and using this. But I use my HICKS at that time because you can leave breast milk at room temperature for 4 hours. So I pump with the HICKS or feed and use the HICKS on the other side, pop the milk in a bag, and then when Connor goes down for work at like 7-8, he takes the breast milk and puts it in the fridge for me, so I don't even have to get out of bed. And already I would have pumped like an ounce or 2 in the morning before I've woken up, and that's just by collecting the letdown. So I really recommend these. This was from Amazon, this one. I think the whole thing with the 4th trimester is just be kind to yourself and do favours for your future self. So what I was saying with the snacks, make sure that you're eating in the middle of the night to refuel yourself for the next day and the night ahead. Make sure you get yourself a nappy caddy. We've got one upstairs and one downstairs. This one isn't very well stocked because this is our upstairs one, but just quickly, it's got hand sanitizer, nappy bags, spare vests. It's got a little toy in it for if I'm distracting him when I'm changing his nappy. It's got a brush if we bath him upstairs instead of using the baby bath downstairs. It's got, of course, nappies and wipes. We do need to add some more in here though, but having everything in one place just means in the middle of the night, all I have to do is pick up the caddy and everything's here. I always try and pack the changing bag. Like if I'm going out somewhere, then I make sure that I pack the changing bag before. Sometimes even put it in the car, make sure that the car seat's ready, make sure that maybe Tommy's outfit's picked out, my outfit's picked out. I think everything's just about making your life easier and stress-free. My rule now is to always do at least one piece of laundry washing a day, whether that means like putting the washing machine on, hanging washing out, putting washing away, because we go through so much washing before he was born. Now he's born, it's a different story. So I try and do at least one piece of washing a day so that I keep on top of that. And then other than that, just take every day as it comes. I nearly forgot to mention my nursing pillow. Some people say that these are really helpful, and then other people say that they don't really use them, but I use mine in the middle of the night. I prop it under myself like this, and then feed Tommy on whatever side, and it's really, really helpful. It like stops me from hunching over too much, it saves my arms, obviously holding the weight of him. So yeah, definitely get yourself a nursing pillow. I would even consider getting another one for downstairs, because during the day I feed him downstairs and it would be really helpful to have two. I think I've kind of gone over everything. If you have any specific 4th trimester questions that you want me to answer, please leave them in the comments, and then I'll do another 4th trimester Q&A video, because I've tried to mention everything that kind of helped me and tips and tricks in the first 12 weeks. But if there was anything that you are wondering that you wanted to ask for my personal experience, then let me know in the comments and I will make a Q&A video. And I will also do a breastfeeding video, because we have been exclusively breastfeeding now for 12 weeks, just over 12 weeks. So if you had any breastfeeding questions, then put them in the comments below as well, and then when I film the video I will answer those. But yeah, having a baby is hard. It's demanding, you don't have any time for yourself. At the moment my boyfriend and my mother-in-law are downstairs. I can hear them in the garden, so Tommy's being watched for a second while I film this video. But it's just hard. I feel like you don't realise how much free time you have before you have a baby, and then you have a baby, and then a lot of your time, or all of your time, sorry should I say, is focused on, is the baby fed? Is the baby happy? Is the baby had a nap yet? Has the baby's nappy been changed? You know, is the baby warm enough? Is the baby cold? Just, you're always thinking, what does the baby need? And it's easy to forget about yourself. I had a shower today and washed my hair, so I feel nice and refreshed, because there's some days that you don't even have time to have a shower. There's some days where you cry for no reason. There's some days that the baby cries for no reasons. There's some days that you feel stressed and, you know, frustrated. But yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, it doesn't last forever, and already I miss those newborn stages. I miss when he was so tiny. I miss he's not always been a very sleepy baby during the day, which is why I find it quite hard to get stuff done, because I'm always having to entertain him. He literally has probably about 1 or 2 naps a day, and that can be for 20 minutes or an hour. That's it. He does not sleep a lot during the day, so I find it quite hard to get stuff done. So when I do manage to pop to the shops and have a shower and, you know, get some tidying and stuff done, I do feel like I've achieved a lot. So it's all about those small wins. Thank you so much for sitting through and watching this video. I'm going to edit it down so it's not too long, but I have a feeling it's going to be a slightly long one. I just wanted to try and include everything I could in it. So if you're watching this and you're pregnant and you are soon to be in your 4th trimester, good luck. I have done a birth story video if you were interested to hear how my birth went. But yeah, as I said, any comments, any feedback you have for me, please leave in the comments and I will get back to that, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!